saying, "Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt. And be there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him." Herod was on a rampage. Got this king in his territory. Right? That can't do it. And they were there until the death of Herod, until Herod died. That it might be fulfilled, again, it was all prophesied to go down this way, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, "Out of Egypt have I called Jesus Christ." He was called out of where? Verse 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly teed off. He'd be too, right? And sent forth, now check this out. You think stuff is bad today? And sent forth and killed all the children that were in Bethlehem and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under. All the children in Bethlehem and all the coasts thereof. You talking about some devilish stuff? It's hard to fathom. We got enough trouble dealing with the killing of kids that we've been seeing in our country over the last 2, 3, 4 years. This dude was Hitler before Hitler. Serious. Check it out. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly angry, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Devastating. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, "In Ramah there was a voice heard, lamentations and weeping, and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted, because they were not." They've been killed. 2 years old and under. Verse 19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, "Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel. For they are dead which sought the young child's life." And Joseph arose and took the young child and his mother Mary, and came into the land of Egypt. The land of Israel. But when Joseph heard that Archelaus did reign in Judah in the room of his father's house, see, Archelaus was now homeboy in charge, and he was the son of Herod. So Joseph comes into Israel, and he hears about Archelaus being now in charge, and saying, this is what happens. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go further. Notwithstanding being warned of God in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee. So you figure you coming to L.A., but you hear one of your homeboys that's still looking for you is in L.A., and you turn around and say, I think I'll go and hang out in North Hollywood. Right? Verse 23. And Joseph came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophets. He, this is Jesus Christ, shall be called a Nazarene. Where do you think they got Church of the Nazarene from? Man will take anything out of here and make it into something. Right? But that's where you get the title Church of the Nazarene from. Yeah. Give me 5 more minutes, right? We good? It is interesting, ain't it? Yeah, more than interesting. Check this out. In those days, remember the baby that was 6 months ahead of Jesus? John the Baptist? Elizabeth's baby boy? Jesus' cousin? He come in the picture. Check it out. In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Anybody, take a stab at it. Don't worry about don't worry about it. Take a stab at it. What does it mean to repent?
To stop what you're doing at all costs, no matter what, and repent from your sins.
Okay. Anybody else got another? Go ahead.
Seek forgiveness.
Okay. You know what? You are partially correct. But you're correct.
You humble yourself.
Yes, true. Yes.
To be delivered.
Well, that's the end result. Yes.
To acknowledge you're doing something wrong.
That's true. Yes. Here's my point. Everybody knows that part. And you are correct, but you're not completely correct, which means it's a half-truth. The word repent means to turn 180 degrees from the mess you've been doing, messing over yourself and others. Right? Repent. But you know, the word repent means change your thinking. Change how you think. Change how you process what you're thinking. See that? You got to change how you've been thinking to get healed. Because how you've been thinking is how you thunk that you were not repenting about that got you in a situation. And so now, let's get real. You can come up here and you can play the game with the medicine, with the counselor, and not change your mind. Now you got to change what you were doing because you're up in here. But if you don't change your mind, when you get out of here and you get back out there and you haven't changed your mind, guess what? You're going to go back to doing what you were doing that got you in here. You got to change your mind. You got to change your thinking. You got to come to understand and think new, different, better thoughts. The parallel to that is Jesus came to tell us to repent, turn away 180 degrees from doing the mess we've been doing, messing over ourselves and others. But he also came saying, look, you got to change how you think. You got to begin to think the high thoughts of God that most people tell you you can't even think. But you can, because he came and told us in his Bible how to think. We just never took the time to figure it out. Or nobody showed it to us. Or when they did, we said, oh, that can't be important. I'm smarter than the average bear. I know better. Repent. Change how you think, what you think, and how you process your thinking. Because everybody thinks, but not everybody thinks clearly. You know that. Just in relating to each other. Man, y'all say something sideways to each other, and he didn't even mean it that way, and you took it that way based on your old idiosyncrasies for something that happened to you 10 years ago, and you get mad. Because you ain't changed how you think. God said, change how you think. Think the high thoughts of God. So I've called you to my family. I've called you as my offspring. I created you, gave you this world for you to rule over yourself and have dominion over it. And you ran out there and you messed up. And now I'm trying to call you back home. And you think you've grown since what you experienced, but what you experienced wasn't what God had for you. But after all, I'm a dude, so hey, you can't tell me nothing. I'm grown. I know best. She said, well, I know you're grown, but I created you, so I know what's best for you. So if the way you've been thinking has got you where you are, you might want to consider thinking the high thoughts of God. Just maybe. just maybe. Because when you go back to your room and they say lights out, and it's just you and that pillow, you know that's some trying times. So if you got some earphones, you put on earphones and you'll shut out your own thinking so you can go to sleep. God said it's time to cut that out. Time for you to think clearly. Because I want to talk to you. I want you free. I don't want you free to fall down and come back. I want you free. Right? We got to get it right, folk. We got to stop playing church. We have to love people. Y'all are family up in here, whether y'all want to be or not. Y'all got all the stuff y'all got to share. So why y'all fussing with each other walking down the hallway and somebody bump against you unexpectedly? Because you ain't changed your mind. Because you think you're still outside and you got to protect territory. Rather than understand, you're all in here, you all got to do your time. You better get along. You better make it right. You better help each other. I mean, what choice do you have, really? You don't. I can either be mad at you because you're from the left side of town and I'm from the right side of town. I can be hating on you because you a girl and my mama was a girl and she left me when I was a little girl. Come on. Right? But that's what we do. We get mad over people. We get mad with people over stuff that happened to us in the past. We can't change the past, but we sure can change being mad about it today. Oh man, I was a foster child, and as a foster child, I moved from house to house, so I was just a vagabond, so I'm going to hang out in Hollywood. I'm just going to go be a vagabond, run around, rolling stone. Because after all, I did drugs, so once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, because that's what they told me in the class. I just got to suffer through one day at a time. I don't know what's going to bring, but I know I just got to suffer through. You better cut that out. You better learn who you are in God. Learn how to really repent, how to really change our mind. So all that prejudice and all that hateful stuff and all that gangbanging stuff, get out of us. Only you can do it individually. She can't do it for him. He can't do it for her. They done walked all kind of different life, and nobody expect to be up here together. Did you expect to know him? Not hardly, right? But that's the situation. So how you going to deal with it? How you going to make it so that everybody can make it? Am I my brother's keeper? You absolutely are. I got to help you get right. You got to help me get right. I can't fuss with you over the fact we both messed up. Right? Come on. We got to figure this thing out. Remember I tell you? Everybody thinks, but not everybody thinks clearly. We got to learn to think clearly. Jesus comes along and says, repent. And then he gives you the reason. Read it out.